Okay guys, fresh off the launch of the S60, and of course all of us are waiting, sorry, wiping the lens for a while. Of course all of us are waiting for the media car for the S60, but I came to Setia Alam here at Motion Beyond, right? It's not our first time here, and they've gladly arranged the S60 for me to have a look at it. Now this is one of the big dealer, I mean not big as in the building of the size, but it's a nice big showroom across 3 lots here that is one of the least congested. I mean, if you're in Klang Valley, you can come here easily, 30 minutes drive, come here, and then you'll be attended immediately. They have a workshop, they can do your service, their showroom is comfortable and spacious. I'll let you guys have a look inside first before we continue the test drive of the S60. Okay, so I think it's not my first time bringing people to have a view inside here, but they have the full range over here: S90, XC60, XC90. They've sold off their XC40 stocks. This is another S60 here, T8 guys, full spec. There's only one variant here, and nice cozy setup. Alright, so shout out to Motion Beyond here. Nice guys. Alright, and you can come in here and check out your car. They'll happily arrange a test drive, bring it to you wherever you are, and let you have a good experience of their cars. Alright, so let's head on to this. See, there's a XC90 there going on service. Now this beautiful, a little bit orangey red of the S60 T8 R-Design. So these are the CBU batches. I hear that people are snapping them up rather quickly. This is in R-Design form, right? The aggressive body kits looks really good, especially this part. Alright, then you have full LED active high beam system, and 19-inch wheels. These are on premium tires, not the absolute track tires, but premium contact. So nice tires as well, premium expensive tires, but it's the blend between sports and on-road driving performance. Right, so you can see the little T8 R-Design twin engine all-wheel drive badges here. In sauced, dual tips, both sides. Lovely design cues, lovely lines, and lovely weather for an all-wheel drive driving experience. Now the seats are beautiful, especially with this cross color piping combination. Fabric over here, Napa over here. Very nice combination, and of course Volvo seats are wonderful. Okay, you just sink into the seats and then just feels great. Steering wheel. Again, look at the stitching. Sporty and elegant. Now, any one of you who have had an experience with flat bottom steering wheels, you will agree with me that they are not as comfortable to drive as a full rounded steering wheel. Okay, no matter where you place your hands, you know, it's just nice. All right. And the stocks and everything from modern Volvo cars everything just feels high quality, screams high quality. The pedals, metal up front, rubberized at the back for that grippy feel. Okay, nice sensation. And look at the new cabin designs of Volvos. Alright, looks metallic, yes, real materials. The Swedish people don't do pretend stuff. Okay, they don't make stuff to pretend like they are something that they're not. Okay, I really like the whole combination between these patterns. You can feel the texture. Okay, and then again the cross stitching, different color stitching just happens on the whole dashboard, inlays as well. Even this little part is in leather, is finished in leather, this little part. I appreciate that. Even this part. Alright, these are the little things. Alright, now this one is the S60 and it doesn't come with the Bowers and Wilkins, but hey, something premium here as well. And these are nice dark anodized brush aluminum covers. Looks really good as well. And the whole car just feels snug and comfortable. The shifter, of course, in the XC90 and the S90 you get the crystal shifter. Here you don't get it, but hey, you're not shortchanged because these are some of the nicest gear shifters around. You know, nice polished aluminum here, and then leather cross stitching. Look at that, different color combination. Looks really good. Even this whole part is finished in leather, and look at all this. Right, it's a very nice combination. It's all dark theme, but because of the difference in material, right, the gloss black over here, leather over here, and contrasts nicely with these pattern jewelry light switches. Looks fantastic. Even these little ones over here, they look great. This one is one of the thing that Volvo pioneered in the S90. It's very nice. In fact, some inside story here, the patent for this belongs to one of their employees, and Volvo licensed it from him. Alright, up and down, and then twisting this to open and close, left and right. One mechanism to operate everything. Simplicity at its best. Okay, here you have the frameless rear view mirror. Looks really classy, really premium. And then the buttons over here, everything just feels nice. Alright, these are R-Design seats, and they look really great. Alright, now this is, of course, underneath this is a battery. That's why you have a rather shallow compartment over here. Enough for your wallet, enough for your mobile phone, but not for anything else. Alright, now you will notice this rather peculiar shape compartment over here. What does it do? For your keys? For your phones? It's not wide enough for the phone, right? What does it do? Okay, most phones have the charging port underneath, right? So when you charge your phone, you always have a problem that your phone couldn't face upright. You always have to put it upside down. Do you notice that? We've been doing that, right? Look at how Volvo approached this problem. Can you see what I'm seeing here? Yes, that's for your charging port to go in and do its thing. And if you own a short charging cable like I do, I mean a long one would do as well. Alright, look at that. It's plugged in here. It has enough space to bend down, come back up for your phone, and then you close this. And your phone is here, and you still get to see whatever information you need to see. Isn't that brilliant? Right? Very clever. Remember, I also mentioned that phones fit here as well. Look at that. Okay, 2 USB ports, one presumably higher powered, and one connects data apart from just charging. 12-volt socket over here. Done with this. Your cup holders, very straightforward. Okay, one a little bit more shallow, one deeper. Down here, everything is covered in felt, very good material, spacious enough as well. Okay, do we have a compartment over here? Nope. They could have had a compartment over here. Huh? And as for the door bins, I would appreciate one that includes this part as the molding, but it's a little bit slanted, so you can still put a big bottle over here. Rather full length all the way, and then this one is covered. Alright, so there's a weird thing in the XC90, it's blocked off. In the S90, it goes through, and then in the S60, it's blocked off. I prefer it to be blocked off because I can put my smart tags and all that over here. Okay, then up to this, no surprises here. All feels rather high quality, right? Usually, I would expect a smaller car to have a sunglass holder over here, but Volvo has other ideas with sensors over here, and then the button for the panoramic roof, okay, that can be tilted and open as well. There's a speaker over here as well, and this one has heads-up display. Now this car is jam-packed with specs. You get premium sound system, you get full pilot assist, you get, let me start the car, that's it, it's already started. Alright, look at all the safety features being listed there. Alright, this car is absolute full spec. Alright, and once you start the car, the aircon controls come on immediately, so you can control them very easily, or you can use voice control as well. And I find that voice control is actually better even than the newer ones in those new BMWs, in terms of recognizing what you're trying to say. Right, just press this button, set temperature, oops, I'm not, sorry, set temperature to 22 degrees.
Temperature set to 22
See,
degrees.
it's a very straightforward thing. Sorry, just now I didn't hear it saying because the volumes are really low. So yeah, it's a nice place to be in. And if you compare to the execution in the new 3 Series, I find this more mature. As in, Volvo knew what they're up to, where they're going, and you don't find things that are sort of designed deliberately just to fill in the theme. You know, they know what they're doing here. They've been doing it since the XC90 5 years ago, and they have slowly updated it, you know, in a better way. Alright, so everything feels nice, visibility feels great. The side mirrors are mounted on the door, so you get this cut through. The visibility is nice. And for Volvo to operate the automatic wiper, just press this button. Okay, then it operates automatic. Alright, and then you get a little sign there. Used to have that little sign, maybe when I go. Anyway, let's go to the, oh, I like this. Alright, small, yes, but you have it on both sides. Okay, either you put it on both sides or you put one button in the middle center, like how BMW used to do it. Alright, let's come to the rear. Okay, I am 5'11". That was my sitting position. This is the amount of space I have. A lot of knee room, and I can actually slot my feet underneath the front seats. I can barely slot my feet in between the rails of the front seat and the base of the rear seats. And then here you have a huge center tunnel, very big one, solely because of the batteries. Alright, other than that, the R-Design seats are great, and then the cup holders are over here, and you have a compartment at the back. I was surprised it isn't covered in felt here. Should have been, since other places are covered in felt. Now, for the segment of this car is positioned on young parents, okay, parents or young execs who seldom fetch people at the back, or young parents. So when you're targeting younger parents, you cannot place the rear seats too high up. Okay, when the rear seats are higher up, it's actually better for old people to come in and out, but actually for kids, it's more comfortable to have a more rounded edge on the seats, so that shorter legs can be comfortable and fully supported as well. You see the same thing in another BMW, where the cushions are more rounded, so that kids are comfortable sitting here as well as shorter ladies and the likes. Okay, the rear portion here, you don't get, I mean, the panoramic roof doesn't really extend all the way here. So what you can assume, what you can see, you can just assume this as a larger sunroof. Usually sunroof will only cover the front part, but Volvo took the effort to have a small little rear part for the rear passengers. But then if it were to go all the way, that would be nice. But if it goes all the way, which means this whole bulkhead, see, this part is actually lower than this part. Okay, so if they extend the whole panoramic roof all the way here, that means this bulkhead would be over here, and then that would hamper into your headroom and or affect the roof line of the car. So this is the kind of ergonomic designs that car makers have to go through to consider. If you want a very sleek line on the car, then you have to keep it. But then if you don't want to sacrifice headroom, because there are other car makers, CLA for instance, right? They just want the roof line and they don't really care about the height of the roof line affecting the seating at the back for taller passengers. So if you want to balance both ends, this is a rather okay compromise, I would say. And then yes, you don't get rear aircon vents over here, but the more logical position and the more costlier position is actually here. Why? They have to route the whole aircon pipings, everything up the B pillar, and even bulge here up, so that you have the aircon vents here and you have the seatbelt mechanism behind as well. A lot of car makers don't want to go to this extent for a lower segment sport compact car. They instead just let the air cons route through the center tunnel and leave it here. Okay, of course the S9, the S60 also has an option to have the aircon vents over here. Okay, but then in terms of specification, I'm happy enough that it has a rear aircon vent on, especially on the B pillar. Okay. And this doesn't just adjust left right, you can shut it off as well if you do not like it. Alright, let's come and have a look at the boot. There you go. It's a very large boot and you get a very stylish charging cable bag. Okay, most cable bags looks rather utilitarian. This one almost doubles like a handbag. Right, and it's large. It's not the largest in class, but it's right up there with the best. Okay, it's tall enough, it's wide, the opening is really wide, and then you have this to hook your shopping bags, 2 of them. Rather thoughtful. Okay, let me go inside the car and bring you for a drive. Okay, it's good to have it all by myself. Let's go for a drive. Okay, finally behind the wheels of the new Volvo S60 T8 R-Design. Quite a handful there, a mouthful, sorry. First impression, suspension. In modern Volvos, they've done their suspension really well. And these are on premium contact 6 tires, Continental's premium contact. So it's the most comfortable tires out of their range, and it's also the premium one, which means that it has performance in them. Okay. Oh, traffic light. 407 horsepower, 640 Newton meters of torque. What should I do? Power mode. Why does it have a power mode? Should I? Would I? Could I? I should, right? Damn. What the? Damn. What the? Sorry, I was approaching a turn and I'm already at 110 km/h from that short distance. This car is fast. This is fast. Alright. Okay, apart from the speed, everybody knew about the speed, right? Everybody heard about the speed. The ridiculous 4.4 seconds of Century Sprint that comes with this car. A 2-liter car with 407 horsepower total system output and 640 Newton meters of torque. Now these figures we're not unfamiliar with, because this has been the drivetrain that Volvo developed and placed into the XC90 during the resurgence of modern Volvos, right, back in 2000. My God. Now it is a small engine, 2-liter. Oh, nice suspension with a supercharger and a turbocharger. So, there's a bit of flood over here. Better be really careful about it. You don't want to test drive a new Volvo and then you get stuck. And then you call for help. Alright. Contrary to popular belief, no, plug-in hybrid cars has no problem traversing over cut-off waters like that. Okay? No. In fact, a full electric car doesn't need to breathe, so they're better equipped in going through those than a petrol combustion car. Alright? Now, what do you guys want to know? Is the soundproofing good? It's great. I compare this to a C-Class, it's miles better. To a 3 Series, I think the 3 Series is slightly quieter than this. The A4 is also slightly quieter than this. Mostly it's a spa platform characteristic where you can hear sounds coming from the wheel well, but it's not the really noisy howling type. Nope, this is just road noise. Alright. Once I go to a different road surface, you will immediately hear it has changed. So it's mostly road noise. Premium Contact isn't well known to be the absolute quietest tires out there. Alright, so see, it's totally different now. Different patches of roads. Okay, and I like the soundproofing overall in terms of the roof, the front windscreen. You can tell there isn't any sound that reverberates. Okay, it's rather solid, so there's definitely something being done there. And the suspension is rather comfortable. Compare this to the S90 or V90 R-Design, right? Those have the R-Design suspension and all that, but this one is actually, I think this is the Inscription kind of spec level, but then with the R-Design body kit, which works really well. That's what everyone wants, right? Harman Kardon speakers, comfortable cabin, the seats were great, man. The seats were great. And I kind of find that this armrest on the door, even though it looks the same as the one on my XC90 or the one on the S90, somehow the design of it or the length of it has been lengthened so that, yes, it has been lengthened so that it supports my full arm from the elbow all the way to the palms. Whereas in the S90 or the XC90, I always felt that my arms kind of just dropped down because it wasn't support at certain parts. You know, this one, nice. Okay, so overall the front cabin is familiar. If you're familiar with Volvos, it's very familiar. If you are unfamiliar, let me tell you this is the easiest. If you came from a Camry or whatever Accord, and then now you go into a BMW or a Mercedes or a Volvo, this, or even a modern Audi, this is the easiest to operate infotainment system. And in terms of touchscreen operated, I think this is the best out there. Okay, the home screen, you have your default stuffs, your satellite navigation, your music that you're listening to, and then your phone. And then you press each panel, it lets you choose radio, Bluetooth, Spotify, or USB. Alright, you press the navigation logo, just press set destination. There's a little small legend there. That's where it's better than like BMW. They only give you icons. You have no idea what that icon does, you know, and then you need to experience with it. You need to fiddle around with it to get to know it. This one you do not have to. Alright, phone, go straight in. You can switch phones, you can go into library, contact us and all that. It's very, very straightforward. And for all the buttons that this screen has replaced, all the buttons that used to litter the entire dashboard, you just think about it. Is that function an on-off function? Okay? A lane departure assist, turn on, turn off. Okay, that's an on-off thing. Alright? Every little thing that is on-off, you just need to swipe your screen, your finger to the left, which means you're pulling out the right screen, and you see a plethora of buttons there. All these are single touch on-off buttons. It's all here, and it's they are spaced really wide apart, and you can change their position if you want to, and then it's just straightforward from here. Just press on, a green light goes up, press one more time, it goes off, Very, very straightforward. You swipe back to the home screen, and then if you think the other functions where you go in and adjust the radio channel, where you go in and set your Bluetooth, you know, things, apps, literally apps that you go in and fiddle with, all those are on the leftmost screen, where you pull your finger to the right and it will appear, and they're all there. That's it. Single layer menu system. That means you're outside, you go left, right, and then you go one tier in. That's it. That's it. There's only 2 tiers and 1 layer with 3 faces. This is simplicity at its best. Okay, the old system that most German cars are still using, that was pioneered by BMW or Apple iPod, by the way, the linear menu access, whereby they try and group things like communication into one, vehicle settings into one. These type of menu in modern day touchscreens are too cumbersome, because touchscreen allows direct access. Alright, so on the modern ones, whereby they still group them in this way, and then you use your finger to mimic the click-through access of the click wheel. So the click wheel can only press one thing at a time. You take a glance, and then you scroll it up and down, make your selection, press again, and then you go in and in and in, multiple layers of menu system. That system on a touchscreen environment, you have to use your finger to keep pressing going through multiple layers to get to what you want, which in today's touchscreen world is not the best way to access all these functions. Okay, let's make that clear. There are a lot of cars out there with touchscreen functions, but this is the best. Okay, even though it may not have the swankiest graphics like Audis or Mercedes-Benz's, but BMW's day as an iDrive superiority is when you still operate with a click wheel, right? With a click wheel, iDrive is still really good. It's just that now that iDrive has touchscreen functions, not the most optimized, I would say. All right. So if you're unfamiliar with BMW, Audi, Mercedes-Benz, Volvo, or whatever, you get onto this car. This is the easiest to operate. All right. So this car also comes with lane departure assist, runoff road mitigation. Now a lot of cars has radar cruise control. Like now I'm in radar cruise control, right? The markers are clear, the car is able to read them, and then keeps a distance between me and the car in front. I can increase the distance if I want to by just pressing this button, or decrease the distance that I want to by just pressing that button. Alright, after 15 seconds, the car will ask me to hold the steering wheel. Volvo uses a torque sensing steering wheel. That means it needs to sense weight on the steering wheel in order to know that I'm holding the steering wheel. BMW uses capacitive touch. Alright, so Volvo's approach is that you need to grab the steering wheel. You have some weight over there from your arms to your palms, then you will know that you're holding it. BMW's put capacitive touch sensory around the steering wheel, so that when your fingers touch the steering wheel, it will cancel off the reminder. To each its own, you figure out which one is actually safer. Alright, now, oh dear, I'm gonna go through that puddle again. Oh well, it's fine. Sorry, test drive at an unfamiliar township. I can only try to go round and round in areas that I am familiar with, just to not get lost or presented with a surprising pothole. Okay, now the other thing that everybody is keen to know, is this car worth buying? Of course. So just now I mentioned most cars now have radar cruise control, or a form of it, right? And a lot of cars have that camera thingy to read the lane markers, to have lane keep assist or lane keep warning. Now, how do you differentiate the different degrees of them? Now, certain cars, if you did not activate your wiper stop or your indicator stop, and then you veer into the lane markers, that car would vibrate the steering wheel, right? Or provide some audible warning to you. So this one, lane keeping aid is switched off. Now I switch it back on. So if I allow the car to try and veer off the lane without doing anything in a solid marker, so the car will actually remind me by by tucking the steering wheel. Okay, so let's see. Have I switched on everything? Reduce guard, blah blah. Everything is there. Yep. So let's see. That's weird. Anyway, what I want to explain is this. Now, most cars, they have radar cruise control and then they have lane keep assist. Alright, but Volvo's one doesn't just bounce you off the lane. It keeps you in the center of the lane so that you are in somewhat a form of autonomous, semi-autonomous driving. Alright, now more than that, because other cars also offer semi-autonomous driving mode as well, Volvo, they have all other features such as a collision mitigation system. What is a collision mitigation system? If another car, either coming from your front, opposite lane, or from your back, might come into your trajectory and hit you, what the car will do is to first analyze the surrounding, if there are available room. Okay, if the surrounding there is space. Okay, the car is vibrating because the steering wheel is vibrating because I crossed the lane without indicating. If there is enough room, what the car will do is that it will decide for you how much to shift your car to the left or the right to avoid the projected trajectory of the car coming. Yes, only Volvo has this system for now. Alright, it's called collision mitigation system, either from the front or from the back. And when you are reversing your car out of a parking spot, right, the car actually has a cross traffic alert. That means if other cars are coming from behind or people walking, the car will actually sound an alert. I find that extremely useful whenever I'm backing out from a perpendicular parking head first and I'm reversing out. That is fantastic feature. And now this one Volvo added into the S60. While you're doing your reverse, if another car is coming at a high rate of speed, the car will not just warn you with the speakers. Now what the car does is that if I'm reversing out from the parking spot, alright, and traffic is supposed to come from the side, if there is another car coming from there, it will sound the speaker from the side. Okay, if the car comes from here or the people comes from here, it will sound the speaker here. Yes, I kid you not. It's very, very clever. Now, this one with the new updated system, when you're reversing out, some car is coming from there and is going very fast, the car not only sounds you, but can actually intervene and brake if you're about to hit into the car. Alright, very, very advanced stuffs. There are a lot of other advanced stuffs as well. Run off-road, and then not just the run off-road mitigation, right? The car will know if it is out of the roads, right? And if you're about to run off it with or without markers, the car will actually pull you back in. That is also another feature. Another thing is, if you run off the road, that is very, very dangerous because there are a lot of stuffs by the side of the road. There are light poles, there are concrete blocks, there are a lot of things. Those things cause a lot of death every year, and the car will actually brace yourself for those kind of impacts, right? Where if you hit like a small little ridge and then your car launches up into the air, the car will actually pull you into your seat, make sure everything is safe and brace for the impact by dislocating the seat. There is a little buckle down there that allows the seat to collapse. A lot of people actually broke their spine when their car launches up and then lands. When they land, the impact actually is so great that they broke their spine. So what Volvo does is that when you are bracing for an impact, right, the car will actually release the brackets on the seats so that when it lands, the seat will take up most of the impact first before they send the impact up to your spine. These are things that Volvo has been doing. Now, not just safety, we all know Volvo has been really, really safe. Now this car entertains you with the Harman Kardon speakers. It has heads-up display, it has moonroof, it has a 400 horsepower engine, 640 Newton meters of torque. It is a plug-in hybrid, so if you go to work and back home around 30 km every day, you can actually fully charge your car, drive there and back. Of course, if you go through a lot of hilly roads, up the ramp, down and all that, and if you're someone who likes to blast your aircon, blast your speakers, of course your indicated distance here will be reduced because it is being calculated based on your usage and not an absolute quantum. Okay, so all these, and at 290-ish thousand ringgit, I think this is the bargain of the year. Alright, even the headlamps are full spec. So when Volvo does the local assemble hybrid strategy, they not only present savings to consumers like us, they did not shortchange us by taking out specs to maximize profits or maximize margins, so that they can go to war, so that they can go to price war with other car makers. Right? Price war is never a good thing for all consumers or for these car brands. Right? So yep, the S60 at this price point, is there competition? Yes, it's the same price point as the G20. Yeah, the G20 has a very fast, agile front end, you know, that is just super duper sporty to drive. But these are premium compact family cars, right? So for me, the part where you'll be doing most of the sport driving is on the highway, you know, overtaking cars, ended up in the fast lane and chasing off other cars, right? And pushing them into the middle or the slow lane. And that's about it. Not Genting run. Yes, I enjoy my Genting runs, I enjoy my Uyam runs, but those are environments suited for other types of cars. Okay, doesn't mean that I'm defending this car for bad handling. The handling is great. All new Volvo cars have great handling. But if you ask me, is this as fast-paced or as crazy agile as the 3 Series? Nope, it's not. But is it more comfortable than the 3 Series? By far. It is by far more comfortable than the 3 Series, solely because of the great suspension in this car. The 3 Series is rather jarring to ride. Soundproofing wise, this one and the Audi and the 3 Series, there's little in between them. I think the Beamer is slightly quieter than this. I could be wrong, because I came here in an XC90 as well. So yeah, it's overall a fantastic car in terms of specs, in terms of sound system, in terms of power, in terms of looks, all these things. Volvo again has another winner. Yeah. Brake pedal feel. I heard someone saying that the brake pedal feels isn't that natural, but I reckon that is something across the range with all plug-in hybrids. And this is still better than when I first got my XC90. When I first got my XC90, the pedal feel is really just rubbery snap. Rubbery snap. Yeah, that's how it feels. This one, only the first turn when I was turning out, I felt a bit weird. After that, I got used to it rather quickly. So it's fine. Totally fine. And used car value, Volvo's used car value, just go to car list and do a quick check on, let's say, a 2017 X5 versus a 2017 XC90. Okay, I pick both that are absolutely popular. Okay, XC90 sells in huge numbers, X5 sells in huge numbers. Both sell in huge numbers, so it's comparable. Why? Because if I were to compare, let's say a 5 Series versus a Volvo S90, that wouldn't be fair, because the S90 is sold in small numbers, so the used car value of the S90 would be better controlled by that small number of people wanting to sell it or trying to sell it. Okay, you might enjoy a significantly higher resale value solely because of lesser demand and way lesser supply. Okay, whereas the X5 and the XC90 would be rather on par with each other. Okay, so yep, that's my conclusion. I don't think Volvo now has bad resale value in whatsoever way. Alright? That's the zoom view, that's the 360. 360 view, I appreciate that. Alright, so, yep. That's my test drive. No getting around too far. Cheers.